And joining us on Skype is the star of the new season of The Bachelor, Matt James. Who is this man I'm looking at with this beard? Who are you? I was like, is that Bakari Sellers from CNN? Who is this man? What is with this look?
Hey, I'm down here in Florida, and I've got the low cut now, so I'm kind of incognito. I've got my beanie on, and then I've got the quarantine beard still rolling. It's nice to not have to shave anymore.
Well, it looks nice. You look handsome with or without the beard for sure. Let me just launch into what you were talking about on that podcast where you had expressed frustration over the fact that people keep saying that the person you will ultimately choose is white. What's going on here? What are you feeling? Why is that frustrating now?
Well, I'm not gonna lie and say there's no pressure because listen, I'm a black man and I'm well aware of the place that race plays in our society. And I'm on the Bachelor to get to know a whole host of people, and I'm making time to get to know everybody. And what I'm looking for isn't specific to a certain race. There's qualities that I've found endearing in a whole host of people that I've been with in the past, whether that's black women, Middle Eastern women, Asian women, white women. And I just hope people are as open to that idea as I am.
Did you anticipate? I mean, you had to see that coming, that people
Yeah,
would
you see it
question.
coming.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, you see it coming. And all you can do, again, is to continue to lean in on those important qualities that you're continuing to look for and not shy away from anything and have conversations about it because I want people to understand where I'm coming from.
Well, I mean, to your point, you talked about being real and authentic. I'm a Virgo, so I love numbers and I like stats. Statistically, just looking at the women that are there in front of you, there are 32 women, almost two-thirds are white. The odds would seem that um, you would pick someone who is not African American or of color. Statistically, there are just more white women in front of you. Did you ask for a balance? Did you ask for 50-50? I don't know the process on how they pick the women that you potentially could end up with.
Yeah, I'm not really aware of the process either. I know that production does its best job they can to get to know who you are prior to being on the show because I wasn't on the Bachelorette. They didn't know a lot about me, and America doesn't know a lot about me. So I think that ABC did as best a job they could to make that cast diverse, and I think that the women that were there are quality,
Yeah.
and you saw that last night or on Monday night with the one-on-one that I had with Michelle and the
Yeah.
one-on-one I had with Serena and Bree and Sarah. Like, there's a bunch of good women, which makes this difficult.
I bet it does. I would not want to be in your shoes or any season of this because it's tough. You know, your mother is white, your father is black. And they say we often find our spouse in our parent. Your mom is white. Listen, my husband is white, doesn't look anything like my father. And let's be clear with that. Not a bit of him looks like my daddy. But the reality is, your mom is white. Does that add another layer of frustration when people start saying who you should be with when at the end of the day you were raised by your mom who you love who is white?
No, it doesn't. Again, what I'm looking for is qualities in a woman. It's not a certain type of race. It's not
Right.
what I'm looking for is found across everyone that I've dated, and you see that in the women that showed up. And the fact that my mom's white and my dad's black,
Yeah.
it's easy for me to understand and see color and not be thrown off when someone introduces me to someone who they're dating that doesn't look like them or someone
Yeah.
who's married to someone who doesn't look like them because that's been my reality.
Yeah.
I the only time that I would remember that it was weird that my mom was white was when she would take me to the barbershop to get a haircut when I was little because everyone's looking at us sideways when she's taking me in there. I'm like, what's going on? Oh snap! This isn't natural to have a white mom in this like area of town. But I'm trying to normalize those behaviors.
Yeah.
I'm trying to normalize it being okay to be with whoever you want to be with.
Yeah.
And I'm not shying away from the women that I'm interested in because you see a handful of what I'm interested in and what I'm looking for in those initial one-on-ones and the
Right.
women that are there.
What we say here is about living your life, not defending your life. So I don't want you to feel that you have to defend anything here. I was more curious also about your background because your parents were divorced when you were young. You were raised by your mom. And I've said publicly in the past, I didn't get married till later in life because I was afraid of divorce. You know, I did not want to face what my parents honestly had experienced early on, and you want to be there for the long run as best as you can. Um, how does that factor into this show? Because it is a reality show, and we know the track record, but you bring in a personal baggage, if you will, that a lot of kids who have had divorced parents bring into a situation where you don't want it to end in a way that you experienced as a kid.
That's a great question, and a lot of that's unpacked throughout the course of this journey. Uh, there's very tough conversations that I have with individuals in my life that allude to where I'm at in my life and why it's been so difficult for me to be in a relationship. A lot of that stems from my dad and my mom's relationship. I saw what infidelity looked like at a young age. I saw family members that were against the relationship and doubling down on it after seeing the infidelity between my dad and my mom, and not wanting to perpetuate that behavior, and seeing how it affected my mom, how it affected my brother, and how it affected everything. It's such a selfish thing to happen and to take place
Yeah.
when you've made that commitment to somebody, and knowing how serious I take that commitment is why I want to make sure that I'm going about this process as seamless and as focused as I can, so that I'm not putting someone in a situation to be hurt.
So you are in Florida, which you said to me. Is that a clue about anything on the selection? Um,
You know what? I'm not going to give any spoilers, but it could be. It could
okay,
be a
I knew I
reason.
shouldn't ask you that question. They prepped you for that. All right, let me get. So let me ask you: is the woman who said "daddy" right? Is that what she said? Is she on the list? And who is the who is she? I bet she's nice,
Listen,
but she shouldn't say that. Daddy. What is that
listen.
about?
That was obvious. Like watching this back for the first time, I didn't know that these women were saying things like that. So I'm just as caught off guard as you are. I've never had someone call me that before.
So when
So
you are going
um,
on a date and a woman says, daddy, what does that, how do you process that? Because I'm always curious.
uh, the first thing is just like, oh, this person has a sense of humor.
Okay.
They're like,
Okay.
they're trying to they're trying to let you know in their own way that they're interested in you, you're attractive,
Okay.
but I don't give it much more energy than that.
Okay. You are just adorable and so sweet. I do have to ask you because such a sincere heart, and you mentioned prayer. Why do I keep seeing thirst trap pictures of you and Tyler Cameron from The Bachelorette? Every time I open a magazine, there's a picture of you shirtless with Tyler Cameron thirst trapping. I know you guys have a charitable organization promoting healthy lifestyle, so your heart is in the right place. They showed a picture of you with your shirt on. I've seen like 60 without. So here you are, a God-fearing, adorable young man, thirst trapping on the internet. You have somebody that you've picked. What's going on?
Listen, first of all, Tyler is allergic to t-shirts. He must have like a cotton allergy. Like being in South Florida, they just do not wear t-shirts. But no, me and Tyler formed a friendship at Wake Forest when we
Wow.
were playing football together, and it's only grown with the work that we've started to do with inner city youth in the Lower East Side of New York, where we're taking them on food and fitness tours, and we're
Right.
trying to provide equitable opportunities for them so that they can really change the trajectory of their life.
Right. Good work to you and Tyler on that effort. I can't wait to see who you've picked, and I can't wait to have you both on the show when this is all done. Thanks, Matt.
Hey, I'd love to bring them back. I'd love to come back. I appreciate you having me. Thank you.
All right, take care.